Dobro večer, poštovani gledalci. Gledate spoljnopolitički magazin Protokol. Večeras u nešto drugačijem izdanju. Gost Protokola je šejh Imran Nazar Hossein, ugledni islamski teolog i filozof. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Daniel.
You draw attention to your lectures here in Bosnia and Herzegovina and in the region after you claim that in Srebrenica was not genocide but horrible massacre. That was a pretty bold statement. Can you please elaborate your claim?
It was not a bold statement, Daniel. It was the truth. By my definition of what constitutes genocide, let me define genocide. Genocide would be the mass killing of a people conducted by another people. A definition of genocide would be when the European peoples migrated to the New World, to the United States and Canada. They met American Indian people out there. And the American Indians were slaughtered like cockroaches. There is a term that they use for it because they don't like the word genocide, so they call it ethnic cleansing. Well, there was nothing clean about it. It was dirty. This was genocide. The European people who went to the New World, the Western Hemisphere, did not as a community condemn it. There were no powerful voices raised against it. Rather, they supported it and they profited from it. That was genocide. Did that happen at Srebrenica? Did the Orthodox Christian people of this region support what happened at Srebrenica? Were they happy about the massacre of Muslims? Did they rejoice about it? Did they profit from it? Did they celebrate it? Are they still up to this day happy about it? No. No. The Serbian people and the rest of the Orthodox Christians of this region are not happy about what happened. They condemn what happened. They would rather find out who are the ones who are responsible for it. And I don't think, Daniel, that we have as yet the full story. I think there are parts of the story which are hidden. And if anyone has the knowledge of it and tries to reveal it, he might be killed. Like anyone who knows about the truth of 9/11 and tries to reveal it, he'll be killed. That's their methodology. So too I am saying, Daniel, that there are parts of this story which have not as yet been revealed. The hidden hands at work. To try to have an event that will allow them to fulfill their larger political and military agenda. I'm talking about NATO. I'm talking about the Judeo-Christian Zionist alliance which rules most of Western Europe and North America. And it would be beneficial if the Orthodox Christian people of this region were to call for a commission of inquiry which is given legal power and mandated to pursue the subject. And let us get the full story of what happened at Srebrenica. And at that time we'll then be able to know who were responsible for it. But at this time we already know that by and large the Orthodox Christian people of this region do not support it. That therefore does not qualify as genocide. This is my definition of genocide. But people start defining and using words differently all the time to suit their own vocabulary. Once upon a time I could use the word gay, something nice, gay. Now I use the word gay, it has another meaning. So too, genocide used to be something else. Now today this is genocide. So don't play games with words. This is why I have come forward to say no, this was not a genocide. But I have something more to say. There was a sinister agenda at work, not only in Srebrenica, when the full story comes out, But there was a sinister agenda at work in the Security Council of the United Nations. The Quran, which is the only absolute authority in Islam, not the government of Turkey, and most certainly not the Prime Minister of Turkey. It is the Quran which is this absolute authority as to what is Islam. And the Quran has spoken plainly and clearly about a Christian people who will be closest in love and affection for Muslims in the end time. My understanding, the end time. The Quran has identified these Christian people, and I have, in several of my lectures, I don't need to repeat it today, all of Bosnia knows my views. I identify them with the Orthodox Christians. If you say I am wrong, then tell me who is right. Tell me if it's Washington, or tell me if it's London, or Boston, or Bonn, or Paris, the ones that you worship. That's your Qibla, it's not mine. If I am right, that there is going to be love and affection between Orthodox Christians and Muslims, according to the Quran, and this is to come to pass, then my heart is in the right place. I have come to Belgrade to try to build friendship and affection and understanding and cooperation between Orthodox Christians and Muslims. Am I wrong in doing that? Which fool with a capital F will say that I am wrong in doing that? Well then, if that resolution had been adopted in the Security Council, you could have said goodbye forever and ever and ever to any possibility of friendship and reconciliation between Muslims and Orthodox Christians in this part of the world, despite 500 years of Ottoman oppression.
In one of your lectures, also, you said that behind the politics that claims that in Srebrenica was committed a genocide are the very same institutions who allowed that massacre to happen. Can you be more specific? What institutions?
It is when we have a commission of inquiry to pursue the truth to its very end that the evidence will come out. At this time, if there is someone who has crucial evidence, you know, it's called a whistleblower, and there is a threat that he might reveal the truth, they'll kill him. Many people have been killed since 9/11 in order to preserve that monstrous lie that is 9/11. But you can connect the dots and you ask, who are those who benefited from 9/11? What happened since then? Similarly, you can look to Srebrenica and ask, who are those who benefited from it? And the answer is as plain and clear as daylight, although I've not seen much of the sun since I came to Belgrade. The answer is plain as daylight. They have their biggest military base, other than Germany, there in Kosovo today. They have all of these countries as members of their NATO, which is the military arm of the Judeo-Christian Zionist alliance. If the Muslims of that part of the world did not know it, if the Islamic scholars did not teach them, it's about time for Imran to tell them that the Book of Allah, the Quran, prohibits you from being a member of NATO. Of course, the Turkish Prime Minister doesn't know that. I don't know if he reads the Quran. The Book of Allah, the Quran, prohibits you from being a member of NATO. Where in the Book of Quran? Go and look, listen to my lectures. So the answer to your question is, you cannot provide the evidence in concrete form because they'll kill the whistleblower. The way you know it is to see who have benefited from Srebrenica. And the answer is very clear and plain. NATO has benefited.
I guess you are aware of that, but after your lectures about Srebrenica and your advice to Muslims to cooperate closer with the Orthodox Christians, Your popularity among Bosnian Muslims a little bit decreased. What do you make of that?
I'm not surprised. When Prophet Muhammad, Allah's blessings be upon him, made a truce with the people of Mecca who were fighting him. It was called the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Not one of his followers agreed with him. They didn't like the treaty. One of the articles of the treaty required that the animals of sacrifice which had been brought were to be sacrificed right there in Hudaybiyah, but not in Mecca as is normally done. And when the Prophet asked them to do the sacrifice, they refused. None of them was prepared to do it. So I'm not surprised with the response from Bosnia, but I'm not disheartened, no. One of the wives of the Prophet, Allah's blessings be upon him, said to him, "You do the sacrifice." And so he took the knife and he made the sacrifice of the animal, and then after that all the rest came. That's why I'm here in Belgrade. I'm doing similar, following the sunnah of the Prophet, Allah's blessings be upon him. I'm not a prophet, I'm following his sunnah. So I'm here in Belgrade. My popularity may have declined out there, but that's not permanent. When I came to Belgrade, I lectured yesterday at the University of Belgrade before a packed auditorium, and the response I got from that audience was kind and respectful and affectionate and loving. And so I say this is a good beginning.
You offered, that was something unusual, apologies to Orthodox Christians for the atrocities committed against them during the Ottoman Empire. Why do you think that apologies are necessary now?
True religion has zero tolerance for oppression, whether it is Judaism or Christianity or Islam or any other religion which claims to have truth. I don't think any Jew will differ with me. The true religion has zero tolerance for oppression. The Ottoman Empire was an oppressor with a capital O. It said that it was waging a jihad against the Christians. Does the Quran ask you to do that? Is it the Sunnah of the Prophet to do that? That was a bogus jihad, like ISIS today. You are waging wars of aggression. You are waging wars to oppress a people. And therefore you must be condemned for that. That oppression continued for 600 years. And it was done in the name of Islam. That's why I have to apologize. Not only were the Christians deceived into believing that it was Islam which was victorious on the battlefield of Kosovo. That's what the Christians believed. Islam defeated us. They were deceived. No, it was not Islam. It was Gog and Magog. It was not Islam. It was Gog and Magog, and I am the scholar who's pursuing the subject of eschatology. So I do have some credentials to speak about Gog and Magog. Of course, when I make a statement, you're free to differ with me. But if I'm wrong, you must tell me what is right. Otherwise, it's arrogance. Not only did they deceive the Christians, they deceived the Muslims as well. And the Muslims believed that this was a great Islamic empire, fighting jihad on the name of Islam. And all those who die killing the Christians will go to heaven. They deceived them. One of the reasons why they were able to deceive them was because they achieved what I thought would have been impossible. They took the capital of Islam from the Arab world and brought it to the capital city of the Orthodox Christian world. There are many strange things which have happened in history, Daniel, but I don't find anything to beat this one. To take the capital of the Muslim world and bring it and park it up in the capital of the Orthodox Christian world. And now you have credentials to speak for Islam. That's how they managed to deceive the Muslim world, that they were great representatives of Islam. Don't come to me and tell me the Ottoman Empire did this which was good and that which was good and that which was good. It's irrelevant. My statement is that the Ottoman Empire was an oppressor. Yes or no? Once it is an oppressor, it is not representative of Islam.
Do you think that apology is necessary from the other side too?
Whatever was done in the name of Islam and did not represent Islam and cause injury to others, like taking the greatest cathedral of the Orthodox Christian world, Hagia Sophia, and shamefully transforming it and sinfully transforming it into a masjid, to drive a dagger into the heart of the Christian world that will bleed eternally. I have a duty to set the record straight. I have a duty to say this was shameful, disgraceful, sinful. And I have a duty to apologize on behalf of Islam. In doing so, I'm setting an example. And I hope I'm not doing it in any way condescendingly or arrogantly. I'm setting an example. It is not for me to turn to the Orthodox Christian world, my brothers, to say you were wrong in doing this and you were wrong in doing that and you did this which was wrong. No. It is for my brother, the Orthodox Christian, and he is my brother. It is for him to look at his record and see what are those things which are done in the name of Christianity which were not representative of Christianity, and denounce them rather than me doing it.
I would like to switch to the